Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela WebDev. In this video we will learn about the another concept, that is limitations of the virtual machine. So in the previous video we have learned about the hypervisor. So now the hypervisor is nothing but which will create the virtual machines. So I will try to explain you what are the limitations of this virtual machine. So let's move on to this one. So provisioning of virtual machine is a time consuming. So what is this meaning of this one? So I will try to explain you. If you compare with the containers can be created in 1 second or less than 1 second as well. It all depends on the configuration what you do. But when compared to the virtual machine, it is less. So that means creating of this virtual machine is somewhat time consuming when compared to the containers. I will explain you about the containers also. Just I am trying to explain you the limitations between a container and a virtual machine. So if you compare it with the container can be created with less than 1 second or less than 1 second. Depends on the requirements what you are configuration what you are trying to do it. But when compared to the virtual machine, the creation of the container is somewhat less only. And another one is what I want to tell you is resource allocation is not dynamic. So something like memory or CPU is not dynamic in the virtual machine. So what is this resource allocation not dynamic? For example, I created a virtual machine and for that I have given a resource like 1 core CPU and also a 2 GB RAM. So I have created a virtual machine and for that virtual machine I have created a 1 core CPU and 2 GB RAM. Right now for the application in that server, it is sufficient. So whatever the application that is running in that virtual machine, it is sufficient because at the starting there are less number of users hitting that application. At the starting it is sufficient. Let's say when the days are passing, the number of users hitting the application will increase day by day. So whenever the application is days are coming on, the number of users or the customers or the visitors which are coming to that application are increasing day by day. In that particular point of view, the 1 core CPU and also the 2 GB RAM is not sufficient. So whatever the CPU and the RAM we have allocated at the time of creation of the virtual server, it is not sufficient. We need to increase, I have to increase it. So normally we need to increase it. It is not possible to increase it dynamically. So virtual machines cannot allocate itself with high memory and high CPU even though it is available in the physical server. So that means, for example, let's say that virtual machine we will be creating on the top of the hypervisor. That is nothing but the hypervisor will be located in the physical server only. Even though if the physical server has the memory and the allocation memory and the CPU also, but the virtual machine cannot take it dynamically even if it requires. So that means even if it is available in the physical server, the virtual machine cannot allocate itself dynamically with the memory and the CPU. So that means at the starting of the creation, whatever you have created, the 2 GB RAM and 1 core CPU, so that is the only thing it will be using. So when the application is growing day by day, so that core CPU and also the 2 GB RAM is not sufficient also, it will not increase it. So you need to run the commands or you have to tell explicitly to increase the memory or to increase the CPU. So that means the virtual machine cannot dynamically increase the resource allocation, but there is a provision that you need to tell it explicitly. We need to run some certain commands to tell explicitly to increase the memory or to increase the CPU. Let's say after some days, you need some more memory, means again you need to do that same task again. So that means, for example, let's say that for the days going on, so you need to increase the memory for 2 GB to 3 GB RAM, I need to increase it. So you need to run a particular set of commands to increase the RAM. So you have increased the RAM and after some days passed by, again you need to increase some memory. Then again you need to repeat that particular task again and again. So that is the limitation of this virtual server. So earlier days, what we need to do is, in order to increase the memory or the CPU, we need to shut down the virtual machine and then we need to increase the resource. So right now in the latest, so it is not needed. So you can directly increase it on the running instance, the memory and the CPU. So that is one thing. But when compared to the containers, so when compared to the containers can allocate the resources automatically. So whereas the containers can allocate the resources automatically. You doesn't need any help. There is no need to tell explicitly to the container. That's the reason resource allocation is not dynamic in the virtual machines. You have to run the commands to increase or decrease the CPU. It cannot increase automatically. So here, so what I am trying to tell you, So containers can allocate the resource automatically, so there is no need to run the certain commands or anything. Whereas in the virtual machine, so you have to run the commands to increase or decrease the CPU or memory. It cannot increase or decrease automatically. So technically this concept is called as a scale in and scale out. So a scale in and scale out functionality is not available in the virtual machine, whereas in the containers the scale in and scale out functionality is available. Resource allocated by the virtual machine are utilized by the virtual machines, and the rest will be used by the application. So here what I am trying to tell you is, so that whatever the resource allocated by the virtual machine are utilized by the virtual machine, fine, and the virtual not utilized or not are utilized by the virtual machine, so are utilized by the operating system, and the rest will be used by the application. So what is the meaning of this one is, I will try to explain you with an example. Let's say I am running an application in the virtual machine. So we have a virtual machine and I am running an application in that virtual machine. We know that in the virtual machine we have one guest operating system. Let's say it can be Windows, Mac, Linux or anything. So in the virtual machine we have a operating system, and in that operating system you will run your application. So that is the thing. So in that operating system we will be running our application. We know that for running an operating system we need a lot of services that should be running in the background. So for an operating system to make it working, so we need a lot of services, and that those services will be running on the background. And if the services are running means those require, and those services will consume some resources like memory, CPU and storage as well. That means the entire resource or the entire allocation, memory allocation, whatever you are trying to allocate to the virtual machine is not utilized by your application completely. So it is actually used by your operating system, and the rest of the CPU and the memory is used by your application. So this is what I want to tell you. The drawback is that the resource I have allocated to the virtual machine is not completely utilized by the actual application. So whatever the memory or the resource you are allocating to the virtual machine is not completely utilized by the application. Some part of the thing is used by the operating system, and the rest will be used by the application, whereas in the that is in the virtual machines. This is the limitation what we have with the virtual machine. This particular limitation we can overcome with the containers. So that is something. And number of virtual machines that can be created is more compared to the physical server, but less when compared to the containers. So that means what I am trying to explain you is, so this example, so here let's say that I will try to do the paint. Okay, in the paint, let's say that here I am having a physical server. Okay, here I will be having a physical server. Let's say here we have a physical server. Okay, I am having a physical server. On the top of this physical server, so we will be having this operating system. Okay, we will be having this operating system. On the top of this operating system, we will be having an hypervisor. That is nothing but virtual box or anything, whichever it may be. And on the top of this hypervisor, you will be having an VM1, virtual machine 1, and VM2, virtual machine 2, and VM3. So we will be having like this. So that means the physical server or the physical operating system we will be having only one. So when compared to the physical operating system, we can have only one, but that virtual operating systems we can have multiple. So when compared to the physical operating system or the physical server, we can have multiple virtual machines. So that means here in this virtual machine we have one operating system, and in this one we have another operating system, and we have in this one another guest operating system. Let's say that here we can have Windows, Linux or Mac or anything, whatever the operating system you want, you like, you can have it. And in this one you can run this virtual machine for staging environment, and this one you can run it for the testing environment, and this one you can run it for the production environment. Whereas in the physical server you have only the one physical server, and you cannot have it multiple things. So that means when compared to the physical server, you can have more virtual machines, but when compared to the virtual machines, you can have more containers so than virtual machines. So here you'll be having a limitations depending on the resource or anything, but here you can have as many containers you want when compared to the virtual machines. So that is what I am trying to explain you. So number of virtual machines that can be created is more compared to the physical server, but less. So virtual machines creation will be less when compared to the containers. So that is what I am trying to explain you. So these are all about the limitations of these virtual machines. So in the next video, you'll learn about the container concept. So hope you understood about these limitations of the virtual machine. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.